So, welcome to the Conversational Healing first installment or first episode. I have my friends. We're going to start from the right. Go ahead.
Katrina Perkins.
Kia Bradshaw.
Teresa Bell.
So, today we're going to be talking about mental health and the different types and, how it affects us on a daily basis. So, just to kind of start, so mental health, it basically includes our emotional, psychological, and social well being. It affects how we think, feel, and act. It also helps determine how we handle stress, relate to others, and make choices. So it's important at every stage of life from childhood and adolescence through adulthood. So we're going to be talking about the different stages of mental health and just how it affects us on our daily in our daily lives. So first topic, anxiety, panic attacks and things like that. So we'll start with you, Kia. So which moments during your day cause you the most anxiety, if any?
Probably at work if I'm about to meet a new client and I'm not sure, how the relationship is going to go, how the waxing is going to go, especially if it's, a strange area. So
Sure. So for everybody that doesn't know, Kia, could you just talk a little bit about what you do on a daily basis?
So I'm an esthetician, but I mostly do waxing and I do Brazilians and men's Zillions.
Okay. All right. And so when you meet a new client, has there been a time that you felt like you were going to lose it, have an anxiety attack after you actually did meet the client?
Not really. I try to stay calm. I try to just go slow. So in my head, I might be freaking out. But if I just slow down, I'm okay.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right. What about you, Katrina? Is there anything during your day, working in a daycare that causes you anxiety?
I wouldn't say just working with the kids, that doesn't cause anxiety. I think it's the same thing when you're meeting a new family and you're trying to get the kid acclimated with the surroundings, their new surroundings. It can be nerve-wracking because it's pretty much a make or break situation. Parents want to make sure their kids are safe, which is number one. And then the second is who's taking care of my child. So, that gives you some kind of anxiety because you want to do your best. But I am learning that I have done my best and I will continue to do my best. If I feel like there's an issue or problem with, stressing out during the day, I will ask for my 15 early if I have to.
Yeah.
Or I will take a day off for mental health day for me. Because I learned you can't do it all. You can't be all. And you can't be everything to everybody.
Right.
So as I'm getting older, I'm understanding I can't do it all. And so if I need a mental day, personal day, aka personal day, I will definitely take that, and I'm okay with that. I still get paid for it, but I'm home selling my nerves, getting my spirit right for the next day, the day after that, how many days I choose to take off. But I really do have a nice support system at the job, so we all are in this together, so we feel the anxieties from each other. We can step in for each other. We can say, hey, you want me to take over for your class? Do you need a break? And we work that out, and it works great. So I just feel, just meeting new families with the job. I love kids. I love what I do. But again, it's just meeting new families, and you want the best for the parents and for the children.
Right. So I'm glad you actually talked about, your support system and people stepping in. So Teresa, what about you? So is there anything that causes you anxiety in your day? And do you actually have like a support team, that would step in to kind of mitigate or give you a mental break?
In my new role, I don't really have anxiety. I feel frustrated at times, but I don't feel anxiety as far as work. My anxiety comes in like in the middle of the night.
Okay.
When I'm
So let's
thinking
talk about that.
life, or if I'm thinking about, like, if the doctor calls me and say I have to come back, I'm like, oh my God.
You're right.
About all the diseases I could have and I'm gonna die.
So the natural unknowns, right?
Unknown,
Like the
when I think
unknown.
about my mom getting older, when I think about just things going wrong in life, and I'm like just pray, and that's really what I do. Like, I really get anxiety attacks at nighttime.
Okay. Now, so like, other than prayer, is there anything that you do to help with your anxiety?
Well, when it happens at nighttime, I just get up and I pace, or I go look at the girls.
Okay.
And look at them sleeping, or I get Chloe to come and lay with me, and I talk to my mom a lot.
Okay. That's good. That is good. It's important to have, those extra people there to help you stay grounded and sane.
Exactly.
I know that.
Seriously.
So what do you do to cope with your anxiety? So you kind of touched on what you do to cope with it. I think kind of everybody did, but outside of work, what about you, Kia? So think about, as a mother, or as a wife, and I don't know, there might be a situation where you're just like, man, I need a break. Like, what would you do in your personal life to cope with, any situations of anxiety?
Like Teresa said, I go to prayer. I honestly just kind of throw on my gospel music and really, I can't meditate. I've tried. It just doesn't work out right. But I try to be silent and be like, God, I know I'm going to give it to you. And then, if that doesn't work, I'll call my mom, I'll call my sister,
Okay.
my best friend, sometimes my husband, but he's not always helpful. So, yeah, especially when it comes to my son,
Right.
I definitely got to give it to God.
Right, exactly. And some of the challenges that we face, like as a parent, dealing with our kids and, in today's time, it's obviously different growing up now than it was when we were growing up. So let's just talk a little bit about the things that we thought our parents, that we thought would do better. But now we find ourselves like having anxiety, like, oh my God, I'm doing the same thing.
Yep, exactly.
Anybody, just feel free to chime in, but just talk a little bit about, some of the things that you probably feel like you're repeating, but it might give you a little bit of anxiety, like, man, I really, I should really like work on that, anybody?
I would say for me, it would be having a short fuse. So growing up, my mom had a short fuse. Well, she has a short fuse. And so she snaps quickly. And I always said I would never be like that. But I noticed that I do that with my son. And, I try not to. But I don't know, like in the moment, it's just so quick, it's just like, so that's something I'm working on, because I heard him say to someone that his mom is so mean, and it almost made me cry. I'm like, oh my God, I'm doing it, So I'm definitely working on that.
What about you?
For me, having a short fuse like my dad, and then also growing up with a Jamaican mother, basically it was like what I thought as a child, as a teenager, what I thought or felt didn't matter. And we never had like real conversations. So I know for the first half of my daughter's life, I was like that. So, it's like, you're a child, you stay in a child's place. No, you don't have feelings. It don't matter.
Yep.
But now as they're getting older,
Absolutely.
I'm changing and having more conversations and things that my mother would never talk to me about as a child, like sex, boys, the thing, drugs, alcohol. No one talked to me about that.
Right.
And I got out of that because I feel like these children are a lot more sensitive and they have more access to information than we did.
Absolutely. Yep.
So just learning to see them as people with feelings.
Yeah,
and
that's
maybe
a good point. Yep.
Being a little bit more sensitive when I address them, even like you said with the grades. I came home with a 99. My mother would be like, "Okay, so where's that 1 point?"
Oh boy, yeah.
But I didn't think anything of it. I feel like we had a little bit more tougher skin back then.
I do agree.
They're just so sensitive,
Yeah,
so you can't even do that. And then, like she said, "Oh, but I'm trying. It's never good enough." And I try to back off with that because they're just soft. I don't know what is in
it's so true.
But they could never book this whole thing with bullying. I'm like, what? People were very mean. Like our abuse, getting hit wasn't abuse. Now it's abuse. So just trying to be different in that way.
Right. Okay. And is there anything in your past that may have triggered your anxiety, like today? I think we kind of all touched on a little bit, but so it's good you guys are kind of like segueing me into the next question. But just think about how you did grow up, And so, you did talk about, being like a quick fuse. Is there anything else that you feel, that from your past triggers that you just go off and then be like, oh my God, let me calm down. You know what I mean? Anything?
I feel like I've always had anxiety, and it's so funny you brought that up. I just had a conversation with Mom, and I said, Mom, didn't I always have anxiety attacks as a child? And she said, yeah, because I remember having anxiety. Those are some of my vague memories of having panic attacks at different points, like when there was a shootout in the projects, and that's why we moved, because I had an anxiety attack, or during different times, but it was never addressed.
Wow, gotcha.
And then it was suppressed, and then sometimes it comes back.
Okay.
And then as far as the short fuse, my father had a short fuse, but I never thought I did until I became an adult.
Right.
So I was always calm, but now as I'm an adult, I'm a lot like my father, which I didn't even realize.
Gotcha.
So crazy.
Well, they do say more is caught than taught. You could try to teach somebody anything verbally, but when they see you doing something, that is what they're going to emulate.
Our parents, I don't know if I think they had the tools. An example would be therapy. I don't know if it's just in the Black community that we look down on it, and it's not something that's talked at the dinner table or just brought up in our community, period. Because I just think, oh, that boy's crazy. His mama was crazy, so he's crazy.
Right.
It's already in him. He's crazy. Oh, she got that problem just like her mother did. And it's just crazy that we don't embrace it like we should. You know,
we don't take it seriously, right? And address it. Yeah,
exactly.
I do agree with
that.
that.
Around with all this stuff that I just think that if we go talk to somebody, or really, even if it's a religious thing or it's meditation, whatever that thing is for you, to work on it and seek it out. And I think we're just so afraid to nail it on the head and get rid of it. And because it's funny, our parents did it, so we're gonna do it, our kids gonna do it, and it keeps getting passed down. For me, I don't know about my sisters, I don't know about my brother, I don't know about cousins, but for me, it stops with me. It stops with the perfectionism. It stops with trying to please everybody. It stops with a lot of things. And for me, I am currently in therapy. I went years ago. And I stopped, life, school, whatever the case may be, raising a child as a single mother. But then I was like, I have to take care of myself. She's about to go off to college, and I'm sitting here, having all this stuff, trying to get her through school, and I'm not working on self. Even if she wasn't going to school, but just working on self. And every time I go into that office, I come back out with more confidence than I did going in.
That's good.
So I have to do it for me. I have to make sure I'm healthy, because I think healthy people attract healthy people. Just like hurt people hurt people. And so if I'm healthy, maybe I can help the next unhealthy person, and so they can attract the healthy person that's supposed to be in their life, vice versa. So
preach on, sister.
Yeah, it just you
but
can't
it is very true. Kia, have you ever thought about going to therapy for the short fuse thing, to kind of just work through it? And I know it doesn't like take over your life, but it actually may make a difference for you. Have you ever considered it?
Not until you just said that. Because I didn't think it was that big of a problem. And I definitely don't have a problem with therapy. I've gone to therapy before. I've had my son in therapy. So I'm definitely a proponent for it, but I never even thought of it.
Okay. Well, because just thinking back, you had mentioned that you overheard your son basically describe you as mean, right?
Actually in therapy.
Right. So, okay. All right. Yeah. So, obviously I'm pretty sure you probably worked on things, but, just kind of going through your daily lives and thinking about how you are as a parent. Sometimes, we can stop the chain, with going through therapy, or, trying to figure things out, just doing things a little differently. So we're going to talk about, depression. Depression is something that I feel, more than anxiety, I think people are more willing to admit that they have anxiety than they have depression. Depression, it's caused by stressful life events, and actually being a woman in general, can cause depression. I actually didn't know that till I researched it. I guess the hormones, traumatic experiences of childhood, in your childhood, Taking certain medications can also trigger depression. Having relatives with depression, actually. So if it's hereditary, giving birth, so the postpartum portion of it. So yeah, those basically are the things that kind of describe depression. So, have you ever come across a time where you felt like in a sad mood, but you just thought you were sad and didn't realize it was depression? Katrina?
Actually, that's a good question. I just went to have my physical done for work probably about 2 or 3 months. But before that, I was depressed. And I was tired all the time. I'm eating all the time. I'm like, what is going on? Because I know me. I know me. I know I'm not a tired person. Like, if I'm tired, it's a little tired because I'm, getting my kid in order. I'm at work trying to get the kids in order, fine, whatever. But I was just off. I was just very, very off. So I asked my doctor to do more blood tests and I was in therapy at a different office. So I went to the doctors and she did my blood work, came back, and it was thyroid hormone levels were off. So for me, that was a no-no. I don't do meds. I'm not, even for a common cold, I'm, home remedies. So for me, it was getting back into the gym, clearing my mentals. If that was exercising, going for a walk, I found a partner, but we've been walking with each other for about 3 years now. So I will walk once a week, try to get up in the morning, do some exercise, drink lots of water, get back into therapy. When I had to say no, I had to say no. So, just getting back to the basics for me, because I really thought I was going crazy, and it wasn't me going crazy or feeling depressed. It was actually my hormone levels off. So I went back a couple months after that. I was like, let me just try a couple of things. She was like, okay, I'm gonna give you a chance. Went back, cleared up.
Oh,
just
good.
Like that. And dropped a few pounds. So, we have to be careful. Make sure, you go to your doctors when you're supposed to for your annuals. Make sure you get that blood work, because sometimes they're only doing blood works for certain, certain, diabetes or cholesterol if it runs in your family. But if you're not saying hormones and thyroids or check for, certain diseases you wouldn't even think of,
Right.
So you got to be careful with that, because they're only doing particular tests for certain things. So for me, it was like, nah, check everything. We gotta check everything, because this is not me. When my cycle was on, I was a psycho, and I was like, that's not me. I'm easy going. Like, I'm not want to chop your head off. I'm about to, chop my daughter's head, because she was like, Mom, what's her name? What do you mean, what's her? I was like, let me chill.
Right. So you knew something was up, and that's good that you recognized it, because obviously, that's how I felt. I was like, something is off, and you kind of just know, yourself, your body, and you just got to do what you got to do, whether that's taking a break, and kind of working on you or whatever. But yeah. So, what about you, Kia? I mean, you may or may not have some, times where you felt sad, but Katrina mentioned, fatigued and tired. That is a clear sign of depression. Even restlessness, insomnia. So think about, your life, and anytime you've ever come to the realization like, oh wow, I'm depressed.
I honestly can't think of anything like that. I remember being sad, like right around the time I left home and went to school, and then being in that new environment, and I'm not sure if I want to make friends, and do I look cute enough, clothes nice enough. Like, I remember having anxiety, and I remember like sitting in the room in the dark listening to Tony Braxton. That Secret album was like crazy.
That got you through?
That got me through. It really did.
That's right.
But I do remember that period being like unsure, but thank God I had a great roommate. Her family was great, and so we're still friends to this day.
Nice.
That's good. That's good. And so what about you, Teresa? Even after, having your daughter, postpartum, if there's anything that you could relate to, any of the symptoms of like coming to the realization that, wow, I'm depressed.
Well, after Jada, I had postpartum.
So speak a little bit about what you went through mentally.
I didn't fall in love with her.
Oh, wow.
So it took me a long time to connect with Jada.
And Jada is your oldest your
daughter,
firstborn.
So,
yep.
Yeah, she was born on the 12th, and I remember maybe I had tears. I tore. So I was actually, like the doctor said, the baby can go home, but mom, I was in the hospital for days because I ripped from, I had 3rd-degree tears. So I think that got to me. And then, you know, her father and I were really in a good place, but I was young. And then, so I remember them singing happy birthday to me. I just got home from high, I started crying. And it was like hard because then she was like colicky. It was a really rough one.
Right.
Fast forward. Now I feel like, I looked it up. I have this something called seasonal depression.
Yeah.
I have that. Because in the winter
talk about that.
You see, I barely can come here. Like, I don't want to do anything. I just want to be in my house. And it's not that anything's happening to me per se. It's just the cold weather for me that's why I say to people, I think I was a bear in my past life. Because when it's cold, I really just want to stay home, eat, watch TV, sleep.
Interesting.
And so, you know, I try to get through it because of course I have to, because I have to go to work and I have to be out, I have to do things. But when it's cold, like, I feel like that's like, if that's a real thing, then I have that.
Interesting.
And then I think when I get my menstrual cycle,
hormones,
like, that's the time, like, anything that's suppressed that's bothering me comes up.
Interesting. So your menstrual cycle actually triggers some things in you.
So anything that I'm angry about, that I might be smiling and I don't care, then I start giving everybody the smoke at that time.
Right.
But then, like, once it's gone, I'm back.
Right.
All right, ladies. So in conclusion, what would you tell your younger self, you know, about recognizing depression or kind of just navigating through life? Katrina?
What would I tell my younger self? Younger self, you are not perfect. You're going to fall, but you're going to get back up. You're going to make mistakes and you're going to get back up. You cannot be everything to everybody. You're going to have to say no. You're going to have to be uncomfortable. You will have a season that you will be isolated and by yourself, but trust and believe it's for the best, it's for the better. Younger self, you are beautiful, you are kind, you are unique, you are blessed, you are forever loved. Younger self, you will get through it, whatever it is. Keep pushing, keep believing, keep trusting. Support, have lots of support, and save your money. Save your money.
Like that.
Save your money, and be you. Be you. Don't change for nobody else because the world does enough for us. But stay yourself. Be true. Be genuine. Have a heart of gold. Even on your worst days, trust and believe someone is watching your every move and they are ready to bless you. But if they see that ugly, that no good side, the one that's just mean and bitter all the time, just walking around with, just be a blessing. Be a blessing because it comes to you. It comes to you. Just keep being beautiful.
Okay.
Keep being beautiful.
I like that.
Thank you.
What about you, Kia?
I would say to my younger self, be confident.
Yes.
Continue to be nice.
Yes.
People will take advantage of you, but that shouldn't change your spirit.
Amen. Yeah.
I would say love your skin, even though you're chocolate. And people might, you might be the butt of some jokes, but you know, love yourself.
Beautiful.
I would say, like she said, save your money. Listen to your mother. Even though you don't think that she's for you, she is.
Yes, she is.
I would say be careful with friends. Watch what they're saying about your other friends, and just be aware. Be aware of your surroundings.
Okay, I like that. Teresa?
I would tell my younger self, do not make decisions because someone else wants you to make that decision.
I like that.
Only make decisions for you. Make yourself happy. Do what you want to do because everything is relative. Don't take out student loans.
For real.
You know, have an outlet. You know,
I like that.
do things that make you happy. Stop trying to make everybody else happy. It's sacrificing what you really feel. And speak up.
Speak up.
I like that. Yeah.
Talk, say your piece. It's okay. People will still respect you. Don't be afraid to say what you feel.
And we are not our parents, so we don't have to do what they did.
Right.
We don't have to do what they do, because I don't think any of us expect our children to do what we did.
Yeah.
Of course, your parents want you to be better, but you don't have to be them. You don't have to. You don't have to be them.
Right.
You're your own
Follow
person.
your own dreams
Yes.
and not what somebody else wants you to do.
Yes. Yes.
Well, ladies, I certainly appreciate your time. And so this is, we're going to wrap it up. And, it's just a good conversation to have about mental health and things like that and just different ways to cope. We'll be posting different videos on different topics. So look out for the next video. Thank you for watching.